Macharan Pochana for the kind introduction. And this presentation will be delivered in English because it was part of the policy proposal that was developed last year. And we proposed it to the WHO CCS and CDs or the World Health Organization Country Cooperation Strategy on non-communicable diseases. And we wanted to develop the recommendations to the upcoming government to take up the actions and initiatives on street food, and they did. And street food was considered as a part of the nutrition action plan of Thailand this year. So that's a good news to hear. And the policy proposal was also developed by me and also by Ajahn Sirinya Pulkert. And yeah, as for the title of the presentation today, it's called the Scaling Up Policies and Action in Street Food to Promote Healthy Eating Among the Thai Population. And I will go through the slides really quick. The structure of the presentation is divided into the introduction, the methodology, the results, and the policy recommendations that we came up with. In terms of the introduction, we know that street food is something that a lot of us eat every day, but there are challenges in identifying what street food actually is because it can include not only the food that we eat at home, but also the food that we are sold on the street. And on paper, the FAO, or the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, defined the street food as food ready to eat, prepared or sold by the vendors or handlers operating in the street and other public places. And by putting the other in public places here, it could mean many things. So basically, it could mean the food that are prepared that does not include the packaged food, basically everything. And that's quite a problem, especially in terms of regulations. So basically, street food need to be better researched in order to be properly managed. But a lot of studies, like there was one global scoping review. There were more than 400 papers, and a lot of them, more than half of the paper, did not even identify what street food actually is. And that's a problem because when in policy planning, we don't really know what food to control, what store to control, or where the street food policy should actually focus on. In terms of the street food policy, there are a lot of complexities within the policy agenda as well, because a lot of, in the past, street food as a public policy focuses primarily on the legalization of street vending, whether or not they should be legalized or whether or not they should be criminalized. But in terms of public health, the two dimensions that public food policy focus on is on food safety and nutrition. Street food should be clean and healthy so that they can be consumed by the general public and lead to better health outcomes. In Thailand, there is a situational change because Thailand aspired to become a world gastronomic destination through high quality and refined culinary culture. And the government has been working on street food policies for a very long time. There are so many dimensions, but the policy that that are focused on is more on the low-hanging fruit side, such as the Michelin star Michelin Guide Thailand, where the government tried to promote the restaurant so that they can obtain the Michelin star. But that's not enough, I would say, because in order to move forward in a sustainable manner, there should be many other policies targeting the informal sector. And our main question that we tried to explore was that are the existing mechanisms to promote clean and healthy street food policy agenda, along with the aspiration to leverage Thailand into a world gastronomic destination enough? And we employed the socio-ecological framework in the analysis, and we used the data primarily from the documentary sources and the policy documents, and we used thematic analysis to come up with the policy recommendations. And we found that the new government that took office last year has tried to reform the administrative structure. We have the SAN mechanism, which stands for Sanitary, Anamai, and Nutrition, which cover both the food safety component of street food and the nutrition component. And also the Department of Health use a lot of indicators to track the compliance from the food establishments. And they provide a clearer picture as to what food establishments should be focused on. But there were limited data on the interpersonal level intervention, especially on how to collectively gather street food vendors together so that it's easier to control. And in terms of the educational intervention, it's more focused on the food safety side and target the food vendors. While actually there are many cases, many examples from many countries that also integrate the consumers into the policy process as well. And that's the reason why we came up with the 3 policy recommendations. The first one is to ensure the government and the relevant agencies should ensure that street food in Thailand conforms with the nutrition and food safety standards and is parallel with the goals to leverage Thailand into a gastronomic destination. We know that the SAN mechanism has been established to combine the 2 policy agenda, the food safety agenda and the nutrition agenda. We know that there are indicators to track the progress. We know that we have the clean food good test. We know that there is healthy menu policy. But the monitoring result from the academia suggests otherwise because the street food analysis from the Nutrition Association showed that the large proportion of the street food that were sampled remain unhygienic or unclean. And a lot of them are low in fiber and are very high in sodium. And that's the problem that should focus, that the government should target on. There are also the problems, especially in the government need to accelerate the transformation of street food infrastructure. We say that we want to integrate, we want to include everyone, but what's the benefit for them, right? And we need to also consider street food as micro-enterprises, the businesses that have the capacity to develop on their own, and we need to include the consumer in the policy process as well. And that leads to our key policy message, because the government has been taking the initiative to do the good things, but in order to move forward in a sustainable manner, it is important not to dismiss the informal food sector. We must not forget that the restaurant that passed the standard could be a smaller proportion of the formal food sector. So we need to include everyone in the policy process as well. And leveraging Thailand into a world gastronomic destination requires help from everyone. It requires multi-sectoral collaboration, and it requires the robust monitoring and evaluation system in order to improve nutrition and food safety so that we can move forward and have the food that are clean and nutritious, not only for the Thai people, but also for the tourists and the world as well. Thank you very much for your attention.